It is Naomi Imone coming to you from my new drag room. So yay, that's exciting. So while we wait for a couple of people to join us, I am just going to bring up some news. As you all know, this is our day 2 of our 12 Slays of Christmas. Yesterday we had the wonderful video by Stabby as she did Once Upon a December. And yeah, so today I am going to be recreating a look of mine from our very first 12 Gays of Christmas that debuted back in 2020. Remember 2020? We were in isolation drag, and yeah, pretty much the world was on fire in 2020. So yeah, and for that year I did 2 music videos. I did the fabulous Patti LaBelle's This Christmas, where she's saying live at the White House, and then Text Me a Merry Christmas with the one and only Phoenix. And so yeah, so what I'm going to do today is recreate my look from this Christmas episode, and I'm just going to bring it up on the screen by the magic of technology. So I'll be recreating this look. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this side of my face here is going to be my old style, and this side of my face is what I would do now if I did this look now. So yeah. So if you're in the comments, definitely say hello. Phoenix will be joining us on this sleigh ride. And so yeah, and if you are joining us after the fact, watching this video, so welcome. Glad that you're with us. I do apologize. I am not as organized as I thought I would have been, but that is okay. So first things first, you got to do is prep your face. That has never changed whatsoever, because not to prime is a crime. I think the one and only Nikki Tutorial said that, and I've stolen it because, like all good things, I'm capitalizing on that, even though I'm not capitalizing on anything because I don't get paid to be here. So yeah. Anyways, so I already primed my face. As you can see, I have a little bit of redness. Well, actually, on the monitor, it looks better than it actually is. So, yay for technology. But I'm very red. I'm very red at the moment, and that's because I've been filming my video for the 12 Slays of Christmas. That is going to be on the 14th, I believe. No, the 14th is Shady's. When is Naomi's? I don't know. I can't see. Did we forget Naomi? Well, so tomorrow is going to be Phoenix. They will be reading a poetic Slay the Night parody. On the 14th will be Shady Lane. They are going to be Chew. Cold for Christmas. On the 15th is going to be Little Miss Sunshine. She will be bringing you a Christmas tree for all the lovely ladies out there. On the 16th, Queerly Haswood will bring you a holiday 2 Guys with Wood special, so stay tuned for that. On the 17th, we'll have Agent M. If you all remember, Agent M was with us at our Valentine's extravaganza, and she will be doing the 12 lesbian days of Christmas. On the 18th, Phoenix will bring to you a Hanukkah cover of Candlelight. On the 19th, all right, there we go. On the 19th, I wasn't aware that I was pushed back to the 19th. So Naomi will be doing a very sultry Jingle Bell Rock. I am going to be doing the Mean Girls version of Jingle Bell Rock. And then on the 20th, we have Ivana Seduccio. She is going to bring her anniversary episode of This Space for Rent. So for This Space for Rent was a YouTube show that Ivana had created, I believe, 10 years ago. And so, yeah, so stay tuned for some special guests for her anniversary episode of The Space for Red on the 20th. And then on the 21st, all of the Slay crew is getting together for a holiday group number. So, yay! That is awesome. All right. So, if you are just joining us, I am going to be doing this lovely face and recreating it. So I have proud my face, and like I said, I have a little bit redness going on at the moment, but that's okay. So what I used to do for my eyebrows is, so I have my lovely mirror over here. I guess what should I do? Should I do what I used to do first? No, because that's weird. I'm going to do, since I have two sides of my face, I'm going to do them both at the same time. Okay, so I don't know if I have the same tool as what I used to have. Let me look at my tools. I don't know if I have that tool anymore. Okay, well, I'm just going to do my eyebrows. So what I do now, so this side of my face, my right-hand side, your left, is what I do now. So what I do now is I just go in, any glue stick. I know a lot of queens and kings and non-binary folk that do drag like the purple, but I like the white. I don't know, it just sticks better for me. So we got these, and you just put the glue on. Now I let it dry for a couple of seconds. So what I used to do, I would go on like this, and I would just go, and go, because I thought the better the glue, the better. Now I wait until it gets a little bit tacky. It's still a little bit wet. So if you are joining us, definitely say hello in the comments so I can talk to you all while I find my thing, what I use. I need my pressing powder. Why is it always my pressing powder that goes missing? So I have my handy dandy makeup sponge, and I need my pressing powder. Pressing powder. I do not know where my pressing powder's gone. This is going to create an issue. Live TV, folks. Live TV. I don't know where the pressing powder's gone. And the lid's not on it. So if it's gone, it's going to be all over the place. Okay, well, I can't find it. So we're going to use the next pressing powder. That is okay. All right, so I'm going to be using this e.l.f. product. I haven't used it that much. It's just translucent. I think is the word, translucent. So put a little bit on your hand. I think this eyebrow is tacky now. Yep. So go put it. It's not going to look like I've done anything because it is translucent. If I had my proper thing, it is more my skin color, so it would block it out. So what I used to do is this would still be wet, and then I would take a comb and brush through it. I find because I have more sparser eyebrows than because I am older, so I've lost some eyebrows because I'm definitely a product of the 2000s with the plucking and the waxing. My eyebrows are not that thick. So if you have thicker eyebrows, I would say still comb them, but I don't comb them anymore because it takes more time. And I realized it doesn't work all that much. So what I used to do is, because this would be wet, I was like, okay, it's wet. Good. And I would put some powder on it like this, but because it's not tacky and still wet, well, that's a little bit better. You can see what I'm doing. It would just clump, and then I would get like, especially because I combed it, it would be individual hairs, and then I would have to like go over top of that, and it would just be an oatmeal mess. If we all remember that lovely read in season 6, where they were doing the puppet challenge, and they called Ben Crum's eyebrows oatmeal-y. That's how my eyebrows used to look. Okay, so that is pretty good. I'm going to, since this is my now face, my now side of the face, I'm going to go over one more time, just because I like to get all of the hairs around this part of my eye to lay down. And this, I would just leave it. Definitely learning how to hide your eyebrows and glue them down is definitely a skill that develops over time, like everything. I saw this wonderful YouTube recently on, not YouTuber, what am I? TikToker. The kids watch the TikToks nowadays, not the YouTubes. Well, on the TikToks, this wonderful, she calls her fairy drag mother, and, or sorry, and they says it takes a lot of time to learn a new skill, so be kind to yourself. So that's definitely something that I've learned to be, because I used to be hypercritical of my makeup. Always comparing to people. See, even that, see, without combing, I pretty much, and this is translucent power, I pretty much just block them out. That's the word I'm looking for is blocked. Okay, so eyebrows are done. So what I would do next is generally foundation. So what I do now is I do foundation afterwards, but when I would start, when I used to do it, I would used to start with my foundation. So I will go, actually no, I'll do that all at the same time. What I'll do is I'll do my eyes next. So for my eyes, this is still something I do still on both sides, is I take clown white because it is thick AF and it has a lot of coverage. I go and put it in like this. And I go over the hairs. I should wait for the side to dry a little bit more, but that is okay. Because if you don't let it dry, you're going to get clumping and your eyebrows, like the glue is just going to peel off. And it's going to be a clumpy mess, but that's okay. And again, this is what I used to do. We'll call this the bad side. Well, no, let's not call it the bad side. Let's call this the past. The makeup past. This is the makeup present. Ghost of makeup past. There we go. Okay, you can already kind of see the difference here. This is a lot more laid down. This is more clumpy and more oatmeal-y because this side was still wet when I put down the stuff. I mean, it's not that bad, but it will, when I put makeup over top of it, it's going to get increasingly more difficult to do. And then you just wear a wig with bangs to hide them because you're like, I got 5 minutes, got to run out the door, and my eyebrows are done. Yeah. All right. So what else? What I do now, what I didn't do. So this I'm just going to leave. What I do now, once this kind of dries a little bit more, this side is going to be a little more tacky, which is what I want. I'm going to take my foundation in my base foundation pressing powder. Hopefully it's in this bag. Yep. So I use the Revlon blurring powder. So when I wear makeup in my day-to-day life, this is generally my foundation color. It generally works. It matches my skin, which is awesome. And yeah, so I go over with this. And all I'm doing is that tackiness is just going to blend those eyebrows a little bit more. See, and that's covering up that really nicely. I did not do this a few years ago. I would leave this wet still because this is going to be tacky. So right now we have glue, powder, not dry glue. I mean, it's probably dry now, but it's clumpy, and this wet clown white on top. And then I am going to go over with my liquid foundation. So I've been using the Il Maquillage. This is that foundation that's supposed to revolutionize. It's supposed to match your tone. You've probably seen the ads on Instagram and TikTok. I would give it a 6 out of 10. It's not that great. It does kind of match my skin color. I think this is more, I would say this is my winter color because, you know, your skin changes throughout the seasons because you've been outside, whatnot. You have to do like a color test, and they're supposed to color tone your makeup, and then you get it. You have 45 days to try it out. And then, yeah, what I would suggest is make sure when you sign up, they do lock you in a subscription, which I was not aware of. And they will essentially rebuy your product when they think you ran out of it, because you have to say how much you put your makeup on. So they do a ton of calculations. And yeah, so I got billed twice. So I got two bottles of this stuff, and I'm not even done like half of this, and I still have an unopened box. And I think I bought this back in the summertime. So yeah, so if this is your time. If you are locked in a subscription, check your subscriptions and cancel them if you don't want to. Okay, so we're going to put some foundation on both sides. And what I do now is I go up my forehead because I want to blend this eventually all over. And what I used to do 2 years ago is I just go over the white. I know you're probably like, they look the same. Trust me, it's going to get harder to work on this side than this side. And both sides are a little bit oatmeal-y, but it's okay. You know how to fix. All right, and what also I do is I put foundation on my eyelid because I use that as a primer base for my eye makeup. Depends on who you listen to. A lot of people say, don't put concealer, don't put foundation as your eyeshadow base. Use like an eyeshadow primer. Well, I have a darker skin, and I find with that, I don't get the pops of color I like. So I usually go with my foundation color or a lighter foundation or a lighter concealer, and that works for me. Just because it works for me may not work for you, so yeah. So I put that on my eyelid. I'm not going to do it to the side. And that is just going to help with since I use powder eyeshadows, it's going to help more with blending process, and then also it's going to help with tackiness because this is wet, and it's going to just blend my eye more than having that division as well. So if you are joining us or if you're watching after the fact, let me know what you're doing for your holidays. Have you bought everybody your presents yet? Today is the 11th. You have 14? No, well, you have 14 days until Christmas Day, 13 shopping days. Have you got Naomi something? Because I know if you've been naughty or nice. All right, so that is done. That is nice and prime. You can see a little bit of my eyebrows still underneath. That is okay, because what I also do now is I take a really light foundation. I am now going to switch to the Wet n Wild Photo Focus in the shade Shell Ivory. So this is a lot lighter than my natural skin tone. And I'm just going to highlight. Essentially what this is going to do is cover that eyebrow. And then also it's going to help with highlighting underneath my eyebrow once I draw them on. See how bright that made my eye? And that helps with I don't like to, once it's on my face, like if I draw my eyebrow, I don't like to go with trying to correct underneath it, because I find that it just makes it muddy and I don't get that crispness. All right, so that is pretty much done. That is still a little bit, you can kind of see my eyebrow, but that's okay. I'm just going to take a really light contour, pretty much in the same color, and I'm just going to go over that liquid again to make it all dry. Okay, so you can just already tell the difference. This is a lot more blocked out. You can still see my eyebrow. So this will actually, this dark color, because I'm not doing anything with it, will peek out underneath my eyeshadow. So this side will definitely be brighter because I blocked that out. This will kind of look like there's a cast underneath it. because I always would wonder, well, I'm using these bright colors. Why is there like a shadow underneath it? That's why, because I haven't fully blocked out my eyebrow. All right, so up next is my eyebrow. So my eyebrow, this has gone on a journey. We all know Naomi is journey with her eyebrows. You know how the saying goes, your eyebrows should be sisters, not twins. Well, I'm happy to say that Naomi's eyebrows are at least related. I think at the very least, they're second cousins. You can tell that they're in the same family. They used to be strangers that got lost at the airport and went their separate ways. That's how unrelated her eyebrows were. But they are now related, which is good. So what I now do is I do the 3-point system. So when I get to this eyebrow, I'll tell you why I don't do my eyebrows before I do before I used to do my eyeshadow, and then my eyebrows would be like the finishing touch. What I realized is I would make this giant eye, and then my eyebrow would be way up here because I overestimated my eye. And so I was like, oh no. And my wigs didn't come down here. And I was like, I've lost forehead space. Just my eyebrows essentially became an afterthought. So yeah. So now I do the 3-point system. So my natural eyebrow starts, I would say right there. So I always start my drag eyebrow at the start of my natural eyebrow because proportion of my face. I mean, I can't change where my eyes sit on my face. I can't change where my nose sits on my face. I can't change where my mouth. So yeah. Just learn your face is what I'm saying. Okay, so I have 1 dot. Now I go, and this is also a journey I found in the last year. So even we're referencing 2 years ago, I've switched it up even this last couple months as well. So what I used to do at the start of the year, my eyebrow would land way over here. And that would create a really, really long eyebrow. Now what I do is I look up. So if I'm looking up, I go, so my middle point, it used to be way over here. Now I go directly above where my pupil sits. If I was straight on. So I went from here to here. So this dot is where the arch is. And now for what's the back part of the eyebrow called? Let's call it the flick. The flick is going to end about 45 degrees. Is that 45 degrees? I don't know. I'm a drag queen. I don't do math. I'm going to end it right there. So the end of my eye, my outer eye, ends here, and my eyebrow is going to end here. Before, my eyebrow used to land way over here. And I'll just connect the dots. And what I'll start first is I'll draw a really rough eyebrow. Like, I mean, that's very, very drawn on. Then what I do now is I take a contour color or a contour. What's that word? Bronzing palette, and I will use that as well, which I can't find a bronzing, so I'll use a contour. I'll use this. This is from NYX, I believe. I've lost the actual full palette, but that's okay. Where did I get what tip from? I guess I should be focusing on the chat as well. So, producer, what tip are you referring to? While the producer goes in the comments, I will continue. So what I'm doing is I'm just blending and I'm filling out that eyebrow to make it look more natural. And my eyebrows aren't the same each time. It all depends what look I'm going for. And I've definitely been playing with that shape more and more as well as I play with my eyeshadow base. And yeah, so you can kind of see a little bit of the eyebrow there, but that is okay. We will just work with it. All right, so since I have my basic shape, I am now going to take a little bit of concealer. So the 3-point tip, I believe it was my mother-in-law actually. I think she's the one that told me that, because correct me if I'm wrong, producer, but I believe my mother-in-law was also in her many hats that she's had over the years. She used to work at a makeup counter, and I got it from her. So thank you, mother-in-law, for that. I appreciate that tip. So I'm going to take a little bit of concealer. I'm going to Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. I bumped my mouse and I closed the show. So, yeah. All right. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just put a little bit more concealer underneath that. I'm just going to clean up because I made that a little more bushier than what I normally do, but that's okay. I also like I'm pluralizing the one eyebrow I have on my face. All right, so I've cleaned that up a little bit, and now I'm just going to take some concealer, just pat that in. Perfect. And now, one of my favorite tricks that I started doing, I think it was Pride of 2021, I started doing the Barbie hairs in my eyebrows. And I do that with a brown eyeliner. Now, the question is, do I know where my brown eyeliner is? Probably not. Oh, goodness. Brown eyeliner. I'm going to need it also later, so I kind of need to find it. So talk amongst yourselves. I'll try and find it. Maybe. All right. Brown eyeliner. So, you know what, funny enough, is this brown eyeliner I found at the Dollar Tree, and it is the best brown eyeliner I have used. It is better than Revlon's and CoverGirl's and e.l.f. I don't even know the name of this. This is Selfie. This is the best eyeliner. So this is a pro tip for everybody. Makeup does not have to be expensive to be good, because I found this at the Dollar Tree and it is my favorite brown eyeliner to do. Can all stages get cleaned up when a mistake is made? Yes. Now, the thing is, though, it depends on what you're doing. For instance, if you're using a liquid eyeliner and you made a mistake, you need to make sure that is dried before you try to clean it up. Because if you try to put concealer over liquid eyeliner and it's not dried yet, you're just going to get a muddy mess. So make sure if you're dealing with liquid stuff, it dries first before you try to correct it. If it's powder, you can definitely put like a liquid, like a stick over top of it, and it's going to fix it. All right, so I'm just going to do Barbie hairs. You know, Barbie has like her basic shape and those individual flicks. This is what I do too. And essentially, I mean, from far away, it looks like more like natural hair. I'm not really going for natural. I'm going for essence because, yeah, I'm going for essence. That's essentially my drag style is. And I know the term fishy has been phased out because it is. I won't get into why we don't use it. You can go on the interwebs to find out. But I don't go for that look style. I'll go for essence. Yes. All right. So eyebrows are done. Well, eyebrow is done. We will do this eyebrow later. But before I can do this eyebrow, my next step is eyeshadow. So what I used to do, which I realize is part of the problem. So you know how before I drew out my eyebrow with my contour palette? What I used to do, and this is the biggest change for me, is I used to draw a round crease. Because if you watch a lot of drag queen tutorials, and I'll do it for myself, they always say cut your crease, because my natural crease is way, way, way down here. But we have all of this new growth in eye space that you want to proportion it. Well, depends of course, what drag style you're going for. But if you're going to if you're changing the shape of your face, you might as well change the shape of your eyelid, if that makes sense. So I'm cutting my crease, my eye crease. So what I used to do is I used to start way down here, and I would draw this big circle. Big circle. Big circle. This would be my crease. Part of the problem with doing this is this is where I'm saying my eye, like just my crease alone is. So, you know, in a crease, you're going to put makeup over top and blend it out. And so then my eye became this huge thing, as we can see. We'll go back to the reference photo here. So here, I don't have a pointer, but you can see on where the part of the hair swoops down on this side, my eyeshadow is still going up into my natural, like this hairline way up here, because I ran out of space. So, and also the second problem is because I'm using this dark color to make an eye crease, I would put colors on top of it and then essentially have to erase with more product to erase this product, if that makes sense. Why would people want to use their natural crease instead of their regular crease? Well, for me, because my eye crease, and also because I've hooded eyes. So hooded eyes is some people are blessed when you have your eyes open, you can see your eyelid separated from your brow bone. But my brow bone comes all the way down here, and I want to make my eyes larger because I have more masculine features. So I have higher cheekbones and a nice big nose and a long face. So I'm trying to what I'm going to be doing later is I'm going to be more feminizing my face, rounding out my cheekbones, make my chin more pointed, rounding out my jaw, and make my nose nice and small. So, but with that, if I'm changing this part, for me at least, I want my eyes to be bigger. My biggest transformation I find is my eyes change, then my drag exterior of who Naomi comes through. I think With me, I play with more with my eyes to make her stand out. And generally, my lips and my lower half of my features are secondary to my eyes, if that makes sense. All right, so I've now cut the crease on this side. Now, what color are we using? I guess we should check out the reference photo. So on the reference photo, I did a lot of golds and shimmers on that. So if I was going to do now, I would use a yellow to cut the crease because I'm going to cut the crease in the eye color of my eyeshadow. And that will help me blend everything else. Because remember, I still need to essentially blend out this brown afterwards. So I am going to take what I'm going to take. I don't know. I need a flat brush. And I don't have my brushes out and organized. I do apologize. Oh. Just because I'm in a new location, folks, does not mean I am organized. I'm trying to be more organized. It's a work in progress, just like makeup is. And let me guess. I have all these fluffy brushes, and I don't have a flat packing brush. But that's okay. Don't despair. Are you despairing? I might be despairing. Okay, well, I found one. All right, so I'm going to take a gold yellow color. Let's go in this Morphe Lisa Frank palette, which was gifted to me. So thank you, the person that gifted this to me. They gifted it me to at our Pride show. I'm going to take this lovely, would you call this a sun color? The sun gold orange color. It is the Morphe Lisa Frank 35B. Apparently, Lisa Frank was big in the 90s. I don't know. I don't know who Lisa Frank is. I thought it was Anne Frank, but Anne Frank is not Lisa Frank. And it has a lovely mirror. It's rainbow. It's nice and pretty. All right, so I'm going to take my nice flat brush, and I'm going to now cut my crease and also make my eye shape of the color I want to do. So if I'm going to do it now, I start in the inner corner of my eye and I draw, again, like my eyebrow, a rough shape. Now, the problem for me, because I have darker skin, I realize I have yellow undertones in my skin, is yellow does not usually show up great on my skin. So I got to play with this to make it work. But we will make it work. Can you see that? Yes, you can. So there I have my basic eye shape. Now, word of caution, I did put my point here. My eyeshadow is not going to end there. It's going to be more blended out, but it's going to be more faded out. So if you like, because my natural hairline is so close to my features, I have less space here to work with. So keep that in mind when you finish painting, like finish drawing your eye shape. So the colors that pop on my skin are generally, I think I'm a winter. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if that's the correct term nowadays. But I generally can use more jewel tones, more not pastels, neon. So, and I like to pretend I'm a Barbie or a princess when I'm Naomi. So I just definitely plays in the pinks and purples. Those are generally my happy colors to play with. I also sometimes do some blues, but generally the reds, yellows, oranges don't work the best on my skin. I do also try to stay away from red as well because you can't really tell. I mean, in the mirror, in the camera that I can see, I do have a lot of red. So that's what I'm self-conscious about because I do, especially since it's so dry outside, it makes my skin redder and I just get self-conscious. So I didn't know if you were asking all that, but that's the answer I gave you. All right, so I have my basic eye shape here. So what I'm going to do now on the other side is I'm going to now try. So keep in mind on this side, maybe I should finish my thought. I'm going to try to blend this out to create my eye shape. Now here we've created like a half moon. So keep in mind, I have eyebrows that aren't completely hidden. And now I've created a dark half moon. And now I'm going to try to put color on top of that while trying to create my eye shape. So essentially all that did was put, and also changes the color of the color that I did as well. I've just pretty much lightened my dark circle. So here we have more of that golden yellow. Here we have more brown yellow because I essentially put that yellow color on top of the brown. What I would recommend for pink or blue undertone skins? Asking the hard questions. Pink or blue? So blue, you want to, if you have blue undertone skin, so that's if you look at your what is this called? Your under wrist, and you see okay, so this is a pro tip as well. If you, when you go to the grocery store and you are swatching like makeup swatches, you don't want to swatch like your arm skin because your arm skin is a different color than your face skin. You actually want to swatch your neck because your neck, at the very least, is going to be more closer to your face than your wrist. I wouldn't suggest you swatching your face in a grocery store or wherever you make your makeup because it's not the most hygienic. But your neck is going to be closer than your face, well, to your face than your wrist. But how you figure out your undertones of your skin is you look at your wrists and your veins underneath is going to essentially determine what your skin tone is. If you see a lot of blue veins, you're going to have more blue undertones. If you see like a combination of blue or red veins, you're going to be more like me, yellow undertones. And if you see more pink or red veins, then you have more pink undertones. So if you have blue undertones, I would stay. I would assume that you're more paler skin. So props to you for that because makeup is more geared for you. There's definitely been strides a lot more in the last couple of years to cater to other skin tones, but you can get away with a lot of things. However, jewel tones I would stay away from because jewel tones will clash with your skin. You're better with more dusty and more pastels. And also, I would veer away from things that have a yellow base because you may look a tad bit jaundice, which is not good either because, yeah. You may have a liver problem. I've been watching a lot of Chicago Med. So, you know, I think I'm an expert now. I'm totally kidding. So yeah, so Phoenix just says because Phoenix has more blue undertones, jewel tones will make them look like a corpse. So yes, if you have more pink undertones, you so you're going to be the opposite than the people with blue tones. You actually want to go to more the rosy. You want to play into that color because that will essentially make your skin pop more. If you try to counteract that, and we all know how you counteract red with green, you're going to look more sickly because if you try to put like more yellow or green to correct your natural rosy undertones, you're going to look more sick. So you want to play into your skin color. If you're more yellow tones like me, you want more things more like with pop. Now, if you're darker skinned than I am, you're going to have to play around because, like I said before, the makeup industry is coming around to cater to darker skin tones. However, there's a lot of steps still that they need to take. But I would still play with those brighter colors, those neons. I would stay away from the dusty because you're going to look like you're dehydrated. So yeah. Where was I? All right, so we're making the eye shape. So here we have this eye shape here. This kind of looks like where you would think my eyebrow would be. So, and also less product is going on this side. So, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to this side at least. I'm going to darken my this area. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to do that with... Actually, I'm going to go with a lighter color because this is where the glitter is going to be. So I'm going to go with this. And I don't know if this is going to show up on my skin. I haven't used this palette before. But I'm going to use this color here. This, we'll call it a sunburst. A sunburst. Is that a sunburst? What is a sunburst? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. And all I'm going to do is pack that on. Can you even see that? Ish. That kind of looks like my own. Yeah. So that is okay. We're going to switch palettes. We are going to switch to the Love is Love, the Quo Quo Beauty. This is a Shopper Drug Mart brand. This palette came out during Pride. And I'm using the shade called Truth. I like this this palette because all of the colors are more geared to Pride related. I think I kind of think that we didn't actually have a queer person on their naming because we have silly ones like Vogue and Bold and Pride and Fabulous. And we have other ones like Yas and Fearless and Pageant Queen. It kind of looks like they just Googled queer slangs and throw it on a palette. But this is actually a pretty good palette. I do like these colors in this palette. All right, so we're going to show some Truth. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. You can see that pop. Yes, we like that color. And all I'm doing is I'm feeling from where I do that crease all the way through. Goodness, we're 48 minutes in. What does it mean to pack on? So what we're doing is I'm taking a flat brush and we're packing. So we're taking the most product that we can to put it one space. Blending is where you're going to blend multiple colors to create more effects. But packing, we want a lot of product in one area to make that pop. And this is why I do my foundation afterwards, is because I use a lot of product to make it stick. And this is going to work better on this side because I do have that foundation underneath. This side, not so much. I'm going to have a lot of fallout. I mean, I do have some fallout here, and fallout is when your makeup falls out, just falls down your face. So this is why I do my foundation now after I'm done my eyes, because I can just take a brush and wipe it away. What I used to do, which I'm not doing now because I've switched up the order just for this, is fallout would fall on my lower part of my face, and then I would have whatever was on my eyeshadow down here. Yes. So if your color doesn't show up well, it might be the brand or instead of the color. Yes, because nobody says that you need to stick with one palette. It's always good to test out palettes. And like in the Lisa Frank one, the pinks I generally pop out a lot better. But for this one, for me, it was the yellow. And this is one of the very few yellows that it pops on my skin. So yeah, just play around. One thing you can do, which I like, is if you go to like discount stores like Winners or TJ Maxx, they generally have discontinued makeup palettes at a fraction of the price what you would pay at a retail store. And I got Revolution palette, and also I don't know what my other one is for, like, I think, is the price tag still on here? No, but this was cheap, and this gave me all of these like new colors, and so that's one to try more higher costing brands at a fraction of price. Another pro tip. All right, so just like this side, I'm going to fill in all of this space with this color. And I'm going to get a lot more fallout because of nothing sticking to my eye to keep this product on my eye. And then you can also see there is a division from the eye crease to this. And I would get very, very cranky of why this is not blending and why they don't look the same. Well, that's because I have an eyebrow that's showing and a crease I have not fully blended out. And also you can see this is a different color from even this, because on my eyelid here, I have no product. I don't have any foundation. So it's not going to be the same color. All right. So even now you can see a lot of... I kind of look like I went for a butt surgery and I got two different... I went to get a facelift and I was like, you know what? One side of my face, I'm going to do something completely different than the right side of my face. So here we have a rough estimate where my eyeshadow is going to be. It's smaller because this is not going to be the ending color of my eyeshadow. And here we have this giant rounded orb of yellow with this gradient, unintentional gradient that's going on. And this crease line looks like my natural eyebrow. So yeah. All right, so up next, I'm going to start with more of the final shape of my eyebrow. Not my eyebrow, my eyeshadow. So I'm going to do the outer corners now. The wings, the eye wings, is that right? Well, I don't know. So we're going to take a darker color. So generally when I do more of a yellow, glittery, golden look, what I do for the ends is I go in that same contour palette. I'm just going to take a dark color this time. I'm now using the e.l.f. contour palette. So a lot of my products, my bases are going to be e.l.f. products because it is generally on the cheaper side and it's good quality for being a drugstore brand. I like e.l.f. All right, so I'm going to take a fluffy brush, or a flushy brush, what I used to say. And I am going to, what I like to do is take one line to go, it's like halfway between where the end of my eyeshadow is going to be and just create a line. I'm not going to leave it like that, but that's going to be my starting guideline of how big my eye want to be and how flared out I want it to be. So in this eye, I'm going to bring it up a little bit higher than my brow bone, like that. And what I'm going to do is, once that is done like that, I'm going to leave it like that for right now. And now I'm going to take more of an orangey color, an orangey yellow, maybe an orangey red. No, orange. Let's do an orangey yellow. You know what? Let's just do orange. Let's just do orange because in between brown and yellow is going to be orange. Let's not complicate matters. So we're going to go back in the Quo Beauty Palette, and we're going to pick Love Wins. And essentially, what we're going to do, so I'm using the same brush that I did the outer wing. I'm just going to blend the yellow with the brown. And that is going, and we're going just to flare it out, blend it out. That is looking a little bit more orange than I want, but that is okay because we can put some more yellow on afterwards. All right, and that is the basic eye shape for this eye. This side, what I would do, I would just use the same outer color and blend that all together. So I'm going to just go back with that brown and put it in outside. I might connect the two, connect that. And see, because this crease part ended here, I need to bring that wing because I don't want a round shape. I'm going to have to bring it way up here, and I only have so much skin left before it goes in my hair. And I'm not going to be shaving my head either. And you can tell it's getting really muddy as well, and I'm getting a lot of fallout. Yeah, so this is not my eyebrow. This is still my eyeshadow. Yes. I knew it kind of looks like an eyebrow. All right, so we got two things going on, and see, you can tell this is where my frustration lied, because this is how I thought I had to do it, and I would never understand why my makeup did not work out for me. So what I said before, I'm going to go in with a little bit to make this less orange. Don't worry though, if it is looking more on the orange side, we will put more, we're actually going to put gold glitter on top of it to make that pop. That goop. Yes, that goop. So we are actually going to go into a different palette. Let's go into that Revolution Sphinx palette. And we are going to go with a different fluffy brush. Make sure you clean your brushes. I do need to clean my brushes soon. But we're going to go with the Sunshine. And we're just going to go over, we're just going to, let's go in the middle of that. Start there and blend it out into that orangey brown. Oh, yes. That is perfect because essentially what we're doing, we are just smoking that out. Yes, we like that now. Yes. All right. So if you are still with me, and what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to put more of that yellow, that Sunshine, in my inner corner because I like to go from light to dark as well. Yes, we are now blending instead of packing. If you're using fluffy brushes, so a fluffy brush is just something that it's less condensed. It's going to blend a lot better. Packing brushes are just going to put makeup where you want. And unless you're an actual makeup artist doing makeup on somebody else, I would use the same brush. Yeah, that's my pro tip. All right. So what I like to do is I like to make this space here less blocky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some highlighter. Now this can be either a highlighter, this could be more of a shimmer eyeshadow. And we're just going to blend it into what that foundation is to give it more of a blended, blurred look now, which is what I'm looking for. Let's go into this Beauty Glaze color board. Get this on Amazon. This is one of my first palettes that I got, and I really like it. So we're going to use this color up here, this shimmer orangey gold color. Now I'm just going to use that same blending brush I used, and we're just going to start on that line that I created, and we're just going to blend up closer to my eyebrow. And that all that's going to do is diffuse that highlight that was going underneath my drag eyebrow. And also what I found with this is if you're in a rush and you do have some hairs poking out, it's going to lessen that look of your eyebrow coming out and look more like just a darker glitter popping out as well. If people are coming to see your show, they're coming to see your essence, and unless they are sitting there going, looking at your makeup, pay them no mind. What does Ruth say? If the bitches aren't paying your rent, pay them no mind. Because there's a lot of people that sit at home and comment that never do drag makeup. I actually used to do. Yes, this does look like an eyebrow, but this is essentially what I've done here. See how I just like darken that highlight? It also looks more natural as well, like it's my natural skin too. So, all right. So we're just going to leave this side because this is just going to be left like that. Now we're going to take a pure nude essence space highlighter, and we're going to put that in the inner crease and go out and around. So again, I'm still taking that same brush because we essentially want all the colors to blend together. That's why we're using the same brush. So I start in the inner corner. This may not be the right one. Oh, you kind of see it. It's not really the look I'm going for. I want something more with a pop. So we might have to switch brands here. Let's use the Glow Nude L'Oreal in this color here. If that doesn't work, then I have a pro tip afterwards we can use too. There we go. That's a little pop that we're looking for. And we're just going to blend that all together. Blending is your friend. And we're going to do that on the other side. And we're not going to really blend because I didn't really blend it before. I would just put it there and hope that it looked like it was blended. It doesn't look blended, but that's okay. Okay, so what is next on the face? Let's go back to our lovely reference photo. So we're going to do the whites under the eyes, the whites under this part of the eye, and a little bit on where the cut crease is before we put on the gold. All right, so what I did, which works really well for me, and probably I won't be able to find it now because not organized. This is why it takes me so long to do my makeup. You know, if I was just organized, with my stuff laid out. Oh, I found my pressing powder, if anybody was wondering. It was on the floor. If I had things actually prepped and laid out in order that I did things, it would take me less time to do stuff because I would not have to find it. So I took a paintbrush. You can buy these paintbrushes anywhere. Again, makeup brushes don't have to be expensive. I mean, this is not even a makeup brush. To do makeup, I take a makeup brush, and because I only do this with this paintbrush, because I'm using clown white, and the clown white sticks to everything, I put a little line on the brush, and then I'm going to put it on the inner corner of my eye, and I'm just going to stamp, and wherever that product is going to go is going to be. See, we're just going to, because I have smaller eyes, I want my eyes to look bigger, and because we're making bigger shapes, I want the underneath of my eyes to look bigger as well. So we're just essentially going to go with a line underneath my waterline. You can also do this with eyeliner pencil. I would have to say, if you are on stage and you sweat a lot or your eyes tear up, I found clown white's better because less chance of rubbing away. If you're doing photo shoots or music videos or sitting in front of your camera talking, maybe eyeliner is the best because it will definitely give you a lot of pop. But if you are sweating or you have watery eyes, it is going to wipe off faster. And now we're just going to come a little bit up into our crease here. It's a little bit messy, but that's okay because we will blend it out afterwards. So then on the other side, this is also a big difference as well, because on this side here, it is all the way down where my eyes crease, because when I smile, my eye bags, I used to fill all of this in with color. Now, the problem is after you get to a certain age, or if you have big eyebrows, or if you have laugh lines and whatnot, if you put powder in that, that's going to accentuate those lines. So what I used to do is I would fill my entire eye bag with this. Thinking this is a look. Well, here, because this is so big, I have to compensate for the bigness of this with the biggest underneath, as opposed to this side, where things are a lot more blended and smaller. Yeah. And as you can see, it does brighten my eyes. But this is burgeoning on clown makeup, of how big everything is. All right. So up next, we are going to take another highlighter. I can't find the highlighter palette that I'm looking. Oh, actually, it's over here. Found it. So I'm using the Milani. I've lost the lid to it, but it's the Milani one. It's a 3-pack one. I'm going to just take my finger. And I'm just going to dab on that new line we created and put the powder there. And I find my finger will blend this out better than a brush, and I get more control. Barbecue event or big event tonight? No, there's no event tonight. What I'm doing is I am referencing an old makeup look I'm doing. I'm comparing what I used to do compared to what I do now. So yeah. And on the other side, because we have that giant line, Look how silly I'm becoming to look. Like all of this is where my eye would be, and on this side is where it's now. Yes. So Amanda, since you're joining us, thank you for joining us. Do you have your Christmas presents all bought for? Because I have not, and I need some present ideas. So, since that is done, our last step in the eyes is to do the gold. So, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use glitter. So, we're going to take a little bit of glitter. So, this is craft glitter. Now, don't come for me. I know you're not supposed to put craft glitter on your eyes. So, you at home are going to actually go get eye makeup glitter. There are some things I have not learned, but that is okay. This is my face, not your face. But don't, if you are in the ER and be like, well, some drag queen told me to put craft glitter on my eye. I did not. That is not me. Do not come for me. All right. So we are going to open this bad boy. Can I open this? 'Tis the season for glitter. Yes, we like glitter. You know, I could just go to Michael's and not even Michael's. The dollar store. Not to call out any dollar store, just a dollar store. And take one of those Christmas ornaments that clearly been dipped in glitter. You can essentially put that on your face too. Yes, be very clever. Very careful taking off glitter. This is why you don't use craft glitter. All right. So all I do is I have some on my finger. And because remember, this is still kind of wet. If you're actually going for an event, you could use eyeshadow. Not eyeshadow. Eyelash glue to glue it on. But I'm just going to pack that on like everything else. I'm going to start with my eyelid. And go upwards. And I have a lot of fallout. So if I did my foundation before, this would be all on my fallout. On my foundation. And it'd be very hard to remove. You just put it on like this. I'm going to do it the other side. And because we're working with a bigger space, this would all be filled in with glitter. And I would get annoyed because this is not blended. I kind of look like I have my eyebrows already on my face, but it's not. That's supposed to be my crease. And there. And then I'm going to just take a big brush, a big fluffy brush. Oh, yes. Promote all the way. Yes. So, Amanda, do you have a lot of ornaments? One of my favorite thing I used to do is in my previous life when I worked for a hotel, I used to like changing up the themes for my Christmas trees because I used to always do the hotel's Christmas tree. And what I found is going to the dollar store, you could get a lot of nice looking stuff on the cheap. So one year I had a red tree, one year I had a white tree, one year I had a poppy tree, or a poinsettia tree. It was like really nice. So yeah. And now I'm just going to brush things away. And because it's glitter, it's not going to come off all the way. Because as you can see, I still have glitter on my face. And if I did my foundation first, this would be stuck on my face down here. All right, so up next is my eyeliner. So my eyeliner here is going to be far different what I used to do as well. So I'm going to take a flat pointed brush, if I can find one. Again, I'm not organized at all, but that is okay. Lost the end for that. Lost the end for that. Lost the end for that. There's a fluffy brush. checking the floor now. Ah, that was one. All right. So in the photo, I started my eyeliner here, and all of this would be eyeliner. So again, I have this black line, and I would think it was an eyeliner wing. That's not what I would do for this side. No. So what I do now, and also what I used to do as well, this would all be liquid eyeliner, and liquid eyeliner is not very forgiving. So now I just use a black cream foundation. I bought this at Artistic Dance and Costume downtown many years ago. I really don't know when makeup is supposed to expire. You might want to double check on that. I need to listen to that. So we're going to, so my end of my corner here, of my eyes here. So we're going to go a little bit higher, and that's just going to make your face a little more lifted. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So all I do is just a single line. What I used to do is I would start my eyeliner underneath my eye, like here, and I would go straight out. Here on this side is more lifted. This is making my face go more widthwise. I mean, this doesn't look terrible by any means, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back a little bit, and because I have hooded eyes, I'm going to look up. If you look up, you get a better perspective as well. I'm going to explain this terribly, but I'm going to draw a line straight down from the tip of my lid, like that, and that's going to connect this corner of my eyelid here. And when I draw my shape, I'm going to go to this corner instead of this corner, because if you go from here to this, when you draw your eye and look up, it's going to look more rounded. And on this side, what I used to do, I used to cover my entire eyelid in black, because I convinced myself back then that I have small eyelids, so then I can just block this entire out. So remember, all this hard work of putting all this color is now going to be erased, because it's going to be covered in black, what I used to do. This probably looks like a train wreck at home going, no, all that work you used to do. Well, that's what I used to do. And then I used to just draw it and connect the two. I mean, this way is definitely faster, but is definitely messier as well. All right, so now after I have this basic line, I now go in, because I perfected my eyeliner skills. If you still are practicing your eyeliner skills, I would definitely use either a powder foundation or a cream foundation, because it's easier to wipe away. I am going to go with an eyeliner. I'm going to draw my other shape as well. So for me, I start in the corner of my eye. So I'm looking at my pupil again. And you can also put a dot. Because with liquid eyeliner, it's easier to put on. It's less easier to put on. So right there, you can see the little dot. And now I'm going to connect that dot to this corner here. Why do I use a brush and not an eyeliner pencil or a liquid liner? Because with a brush, I get better control, and liquid liner is harder to take off. If you're using like a pencil, an eyeliner pencil, that works as well. I find with my skin and because I put a lot of product underneath, and I draw over top of the work I've already done, it gets that muddy look. If you have nothing underneath, you're going more of a no makeup look, then you might be able to get away with eyeliner pencil because you have nothing underneath, just your foundation to work with. So I'm going to connect that. And this is where I then decide if I like that shape, if I want to go bigger, more dramatic. I actually really like that. I don't usually get on the first time, and because I'm not going out, that's why it looks so good on this side. And now what I find is I re-put my eyeliner in. I'm just going to stamp again, and I get better control for the inner corner. Oh, we have some bumps, but that's okay. Like that. And also, I don't know if the cat eye look is still in, but I like to do the little point at the end to connect everything. Like that. So we have the basic shape here. Let's look at what I used to do for that inner corner. So yeah, so I used to just make it round again. So we're just going to round this out. And to be honest, what I've done with this wing here is a lot better than what I used to do look, but you can see the difference as well. This is this what I used to thought would open my eyes, but this has definitely made my eyes, this side of my face, look a lot heavier. Compared to this side, we can still see the whites on the top of my eye. And also keep in mind, I have to put eyelashes on top of this as well. So this side is more lifted and has pulled my face upwards. This has rounded and pulled my face this way. All right, so because I have my eyeliner on and the gold on, I mean, it's not the same gold that I used in this photo. Maybe I can find it. I don't know if I still have that palette anymore, but oh, I do have this palette from this 24 glitter from Spirit Halloween. Yes, Spirit does do some makeup. What did I say? Spirit? Yes. I'm going to use this goldy glitter color here. I'm just going to pack that on. That's done nothing. Never mind. Maybe not. I don't know. It looked more gold like on my side. Yeah. So now this is the part you all been waiting for the eyebrow on this side. So by this time, I'm running late and I have done all this work on this side. I'm frustrated with it. I'm just going to throw my eyebrow on as an afterthought. So I'm going to take my drawing pencil that I used before, and depending on what the look what I was going for, I think actually on this one, this side here. Oh, okay. So that eyebrow. It's on the screen. That eyebrow I actually use with liquid eyeliner. So that's what I'm going to use on this side. So we are going to just take my brown liquid eyeliner. Remember, liquid eyeliner is not forgiving. And we're just going to throw that eyebrow on. And I used to never have a plan. See how far my eyebrow has now gone up my head? Because I have all of this space for this eyeshadow, and I've got to throw an eyebrow on afterwards. This has like no shape. This actually has shape. So, which backpack is that one? Oh, yes, I have used that backpack. Yes, so thank you. Yes, I used that at the Pride Walk. It's the one with the water. Well, it's for your beverage. I think it's supposed to be a water bottle one. If you use something else on it for it, that's on you. That's not on me. So the eyes are done. So here you can see a big difference from what I used to do. This is a lot more sculpted, more blended. This is very much paint, drag by numbers. I mean, this is definitely more of a drag eye, I guess. But it's not my style anymore. This is more my style. Okay, so up next is foundation. So what I used to do is I would color correct. James Walsh on the YouTubes and the TikToks has a great point. It's great to color correct, but the thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to correct the color correct that you've done. So what I used to do is I would put green underneath here to counteract my redness. Then I would put concealer where I thought I need concealer and highlighting. And I'm blending it a lot more than I used to as well. Essentially, I would like over conceal this side of my face and then put my foundation on top. Again, it's just going to create a muddy mess. Now what I do is, and I do apologize, I haven't shaved. I should have thought that out before I did this. But now I take and of course I can't find it. I generally use this Ben Nye color corrector. I found it. I think it's one of my siblings. It was in my makeup pack after the Pride show, so I might have nicked it off of one of my siblings. So if one of my siblings are watching, I do have it. I have been using it. I do apologize. I will reimburse you for it. But yeah, you have to contact me. Now I just take some concealer. Actually, no. Yes, let's take some concealer. Concealer. I don't know where my concealer is. So we're just going to take another pan stick. This is, I think it's Revlon, and it's the 130 in natural beige. I'm just going to put it over top of where my hair follicles are going to be, because I don't want my hair follicles to come through. What I've also done as well is I've taken this pinky color, because pink will color correct on blue, and hair is blue underneath. So I will, if I'm on stage, I will put this pink or pink orangey color underneath, and that's just going to neutral it as well, because even though it'll look fine with direct light, under those spotlights you're going to have a blue cast as well. So here I'm just going to put it on where my beard and my hair follicles are. I'm not terribly great at this. I have noticed in some photos I do still got a shadow, but it's a work in progress. All right. So this is pretty much all the color correcting I do now. I just focus in on where any blemishes I might have or any darkness compared to this. Like I said at the start of this, I'm a little more red than I usually am. But what I generally do now is I generally do more full foundation coverage than before. So now we're going to do foundation. So this is the Il Maquillage. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly whatsoever. And I'm going to put a pump on my hand. And this makeup sponge, beauty blender, I'm just going to pat. This hasn't really changed. But see, I don't know if you can tell, but I have this green cast now because of that color correcting I did. It might be more noticeable on this side. I mean, comparing the two. The e.l.f. color corrector. Actually, no, this is not the e.l.f. one. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover. So when I'm putting my foundation, I do leave a little space between my eye and my foundation. And that is because I'm going to use my pan stick in that shell ivory to give that lifted look. And I worry less of fully covering this because depending on how I feel, sometimes I have my freckles come through, sometimes not. But I will put powder foundation on top of it to seal everything in as well. Especially if you're doing meet and greets and you're hugging people, the last thing you want is makeup to fall on their clothing. So this side I'm more blending. This side is just going to be a hot mess. And don't forget your forehead. So here I'm dabbing because I'm going to be working up here. Keep in mind my wig cap will be here and my hair. So I do blend less up there because I'm less focused, and my lace for my wigs are going to be lay flat. So I spend less time up there nowadays. I did over contour back in the day, and I'll show you that in a little bit. This is a very long tutorial, so if you're still with us, thank you. So even now you can tell this is a little bit more natural. This is a little more natural, more blended. This has this weird yellow green cast going on. And what I used to try to do, I try to blend the white with the bottom as well. And as you can tell already, I'm getting smudges because this is not blending nicely. And also what I used to do, which I look back on photos, is when I used to highlight, so I'm going to do highlighting now, is I'm going to take that pan stick, if I can find that pan stick, I just had it in my hand. Goodness. Okay, well, we're going to do with a different pan stick. It's probably right in front of me, I can't see it. Okay, we're going to use a different Revlon pan stick. We're just going to create a circle. And if I have any lines, like if I brought down the colors too much, this is where I'm going to correct that as well. Ooh, you made a mistake. So I've corrected, but I kind of moved that black a little bit, but I'm just going to go over top because that is dried now. So that is fine. And all I'm focusing on is getting that product on the face. I'm going to use the powders to blend. So that's just going to open that eye. It's a little bit more rounded, but that's okay because my cheek is going to be rounded as well. And on this side, I used to do this dome thing. So I would just have this giant dome just stuck there. Yeah, not a good look. Do you see that I missed my nose? I'm just going to go and do my nose a little bit more. Like that. So when I have it like this, I don't put powder here because, like I said before, if I do put powder there, it's going to crinkle and accentuate my lines. So I'm going to take a fluffy brush, a big fluffy brush, and my powder. And I'm going to just put that powder on my cheekbones and blend it downwards, all over. And that's just going to set that foundation. So this side, I have not done anything with it yet, with this yet, and you'll see why in a moment. What's the difference between a pan stick and a concealer stick? That is an excellent question. I think with a concealer stick, I don't know where my concealer stick is, but it generally has a brush on it. So it's sort of like an eyeliner. You have like the tube and the brush, and I think you get more control and it's more spongy. This is just a pan stick, so it's going to have a lot of product on there. So if you're going for a lot of pop, you're going to get the same consistency when you draw it out. With that brush, it's going to lessen because that sponge is going to dry out after time. So less blending possibilities with a concealer stick. Why don't I blend all the way to my ear? So you'll see why in a moment. So here, I stopped here because here and here, I'm going to use my contour. So up next is going to be, and I've now switched. I used to use cream contours and used to be really harsh. Hopefully I can mimic what I used to do. Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can find what I'm looking for. Possibly, possibly not. Oh, I found that Ben Nye thing. So, siblings, if this is yours, let me know. I don't know what I'm looking for. Nope, I can't find one I'm looking for. Okay, so I'll just do a backup option, I guess. Do I have a dark foundation? Oh, no. Oh, maybe I found one I'm looking for. Yes, okay. So I used to take a pan stick, and in this photo, I just did one line. I started here, so I already started to wear my sideburns. Depending of how feminine I want to feel, sometimes I do shave my sideburns, sometimes not. Remember, I'm going for essence, and I don't do drag full time. So I liked in my day-to-day life, I do like my sideburns, so I do incorporate that into my makeup looks. But before, I used to take this giant line and come down like that. And as you can tell in that photo, I did not blend. Because why do I blend? Why would somebody blend? I don't know. Don't know. Now, what I do is I take a brush. So let's take this brush. This brush came with the Il Maquillage foundation. I don't use it for that though. And I take a powder. Just how to powder in my hand. Let's take this one from Wet n Wild. Depending how this is going to show up my skin, I don't know. Okay, put it on. And what I do now is I round out instead of this more masculine jaw shape. Yeah, if you want to donate to my GoFundMe, you definitely may. So here I'm following my natural. So if I smiled, I'm following where my natural indentation in my face, instead of coming all the way to my lips, I'm just going to stop right there. And this is going to give me more of a subtle cheekbone. And now I'm going to go here on my jawline because I do have more of a masculine jawline like that. Don't worry, I will blend this out more. And then I go down my neck a bit to blend the top of my face with my chin. Now, my nose contour has definitely been a journey as well. As you can see on this photo, I used to do a giant line. So let's go with that same stick, which I've lost. Oh, it's right here. The same stick. And we're just going to do basically an exclamation point on this side of my face. So we're going to go like this. And that was my nose contour. I used to, back in my very first, in the 2019 show, my nose contour started here. And I thought that made my nose smaller, but essentially what I was doing, I was creating this triangle and it made my nose bigger. Now what I do is I go on my nostril here and I just darken that. So I take my basic nostril shape like this, and that essentially just darkens my tip of my nose and makes my nostril look longer, and it's going to make my nose more snatched. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to connect my nose to my eyes. So here, because I have more a rounded shape here, I'm going to make it more triangular. And it's just going to darken it in like that. To connect my eyes to my nose. Yeah, yes, this is why I look on my former photos and I'm like, I thought I was hot. But makeup is a journey. And then next, I'm going to do some highlighting. So this one, I haven't really decided what I like more. Sometimes I used to like to use a powder highlight. Sometimes I use a cream highlight. But for the purpose of this, whatever I have in front of me, let's go with a powder highlight. This hasn't really changed all that much. I put it there. I will blend this out. So I can put it in between those two dark colors. Put it on the upper of my cheeks. And this is where I will start blending that highlight that was here with my natural skin tone. Because I don't want lines here. I will put blush over top of here to make it more natural. And this is where I will now go more into my hairline. On this side of my face, I don't know if you can really tell. I used to just follow that line. So I have this giant crease going on and followed by more of a line to highlight. And I would just stamp. And then on this side, on my nose, that's going to be hard to do my nose, but let's see if I can. All right. So that's pretty much done for contouring. Now what I like to do is I like to take my foundation with another big fluffy brush. I also do this sometimes with my beauty blender if I do have more harsher lines, but they look pretty much soft. I do sometimes leave this as well because I still like that more accentuated look. My hair does fall over top, so it's less harsh. But because remember, I'm going for essence. Now I take a lot and just blend away. And that will lessen those harsh lines. This side will blend somewhat. Somewhat blend this contour line here. This line up here is a little dark for my liking, so we're just going to take another fluffy brush and we're just going to blend with my powder, and we're just going to blend that to diffuse that line a bit so it's less harsh, so it looks more natural. And over here for that nose, we will just blend that as well. All right, so we got nice, more well-defined cheekbones. We have whatever's going on this side here. Up next is going to be what? I don't even know. Okay, so we are going to do let's do highlighting and blush next. So we did highlighting a little bit, but what I'm going to do is like the actual like shimmer highlight. So what I do now is with either my finger, I do find with my finger I get a little bit more control. So I'm just going to put that highlight where I think I need it. And this I just start like at the corner of my eye and go down. And with my finger, I'm just going to blend that up and down. And that's just going to like catch that light when I'm looking at the camera. What I used to do is I would take it and this whole area would be highlight. And I would like round out the apples of my cheeks. So again, this whole area would look like it was highlighted instead of like the shimmer that's going on this side. And now what I like to do is on the tip of my nose, since I only have one tip, both sides we can get it, but we're just going to put it there. And before I used to didn't blend it off. Sometimes I still don't blend it off because if I'm in a rush, but I just take with that same foundation brush that I blend up there, I'm just going to go like that. That is a little Rudolphy than I like. I think I was Rudolphy in this one. Yeah, I was very Rudolphy on that one. So all you have to do, if it's a little bit too shiny for your liking, you can just take your foundation and go over top of it as well. And that's just going to diffuse that light a little bit. All right. Now what I find is the icing on the cake that blends the highlight with the bronzing is the blush. This is still a journey for me. I'm still playing with blush placement. But what I found by watching like Nikki tutorials or Robert Walsh and Michaela is start your blush up here and instead of here, because if you start it up here, it will, again, because I like lifted, if you start it down here, it will round out your face. So we'll start here and we'll just go down a bit. And it's just going to give that shimmer of blush from your contour up. On this side, we're going to start in the apple. And that's just, see, this side is looking very heavy, very droopy as well. This side looks more lifted. Where does one go out on a Sunday in Lloydminster? That is the question. All right, and what I used to do, which I think kind of defeats the purpose, so bronzing, I used to bronze my hairline. So I would use the bronze way up here. Remember, I have not blended this out at all. So it's just going to be a white light bulb on the middle of my face if I had both sides done. I used to blend way up here, create this really dark halo, but it kind of defeats the purpose. I'm just wasting product because my hair, my wig, and my wig caps would come down. And what I also like to do bronze is just bronze a little bit of my cheek skin, just to deepen that. Depends on how much you like it. And on this side, we're just going to put it again in that contour line. See, I mean, this doesn't look that bad. Like, keep in mind, if this was both sides of my face, it doesn't look that bad, but there's definitely a difference from this side to this side. This is definitely more caked on, and again, dragged by numbers. Like this is zero blending going on. And I thought it was a look. So, yeah. All right, so lips. So lips, what I used to do, what I've done, this hasn't really changed. I've just gotten better at it. Is highlighting. So I still do this. Oh, and also focus on one thing I'm saying. Chris, like focus. Me focus. I've gotten some comments that this I should change this up, but I do like to put highlight here. This still hasn't changed that much. But what I do now is I blend it out more so it doesn't look so like there's a giant dot in the front of my lip. Before I used to dim blend out. And then I used to put a ton of highlighter. I've lost my beauty sponge. I used to put a ton on my chin as well. So this would just, again, pull my face down instead of lift my face down, my face up. Have you drawn your contour to your jawline? And the highlight line? Yes. So now this contour line no longer comes from my ear to my jaw. It just stops. So when I smile, my smile lines, it stops there now instead of all the way down here. So before I used to because I thought to make my face really triangle, because I was convinced I had a square face. My face is more diamond shaped, so I have that natural as it is. But now it stops here instead of coming all the way down here. And here on this side, I just leave this as my natural foundation. And both sides still have the white here. This is more blended out than this is, though. So for my lips, I take my contour color. I lost my contour color. That's okay. We'll use this contour palette. I should go see Shannon. Is Shannon working tonight? Oh, I guess it is Sunday. I think Shannon's working. So now I'm just going to draw my lip shape. This really hasn't changed that much. And I find when you do it with your contour color, it just makes your lips bigger. Because when I smile, I don't really have much of an upper lip. So we got that going on. So we essentially just made my lips appear bigger. Maybe if I did drag full time, I would get lip injections, but not so much. Maybe one day I'll do drag full time. All right, so the basic shape is done. I have made this more natural looking. You can tell this is more angle. We're just gonna put some lipstick on. I guess the biggest difference for me this time now is I will blend my lipstick with my contour. You'll see what I mean in 1 second. I don't know the brand of this. This is not in English. This is one of those Amazon purchases. It probably has like asbestos in it, but I haven't died yet. So one thing I do after I put the lipstick on is I will now go in with that same contour brush with some color, some contour color. I will just blend the lipsticks together. And that'll help with lines and stuff as well. And because I thought I was doing something 2 years ago, I then took, instead of actually getting like a lip liner, I took eyeliner and I outlined my lips with brown eyeliner. I don't suggest that. So yeah, so Naomi's makeup has come a long way in 2 years. I will do a face reveal in 1 second while I hide one side of my face. I'm just finding lip gloss at the moment. I have a love-hate relationship with lip gloss. Hair, especially drag wig hair, gets stuck in it all the time. So I don't love it as much. In that photo, I am wearing more of a nude, but generally I will do a lip gloss over top of my base. This will blur some of that line that contour line did before. And depending on what I'm doing, if I'm going out a show or not, or if I draw too big of a line like I did that with that lip gloss right there, I will go over it with that contour line as well. And we'll just buff that out a little bit. I still think you're missing the line of highlighter above your jawline. This jawline? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. You mean this? Okay, there you go. There you go. Yes. So we'll take a thing. So this is how my face used to look like. Very similar. And this is how my face now looks like. It's like if I did both sides of my face like this, you would say, "Oh yeah, it's drag makeup." This side, though, I mean, it is so. The difference is like outstanding. So remember, like I said at the start of this episode, the show, this Naomi Schtuff, is if you are learning a new skill, be kind to yourself. Eyelashes, I used to just use glue. I still not learned how to put glue on eyelashes. That is still work in progress. I generally wear magnetic eyelashes, which works a lot better for me. So yeah, play with that as well. Just quick recap. We have, this is part of the 12 Slays of Christmas with Slay the Night. Tomorrow is going to be December 13th. Phoenix is going to be doing Poetic Slay the Night parody. On the 14th, Shady Lane is coming with a music video, Chew, A Cold for Christmas. On the 15th, Little Sunshine will be doing a Christmas tree for all the lovely ladies. December 16th, we will have Queerly Has Word. We'll bring you a special episode of Holiday, Two Guys with Wood special. On the 17th, Agent M is going to be coming with a music video of the 12 Lesbian Days of Christmas. On December 18th, Phoenix will be doing a Hanukkah cover of Candlelight. On the 19th, Naomi Imone, myself, is going to be doing a Mean Girls Jingle Bell Rock parody. And then December 20th, Everyone's YouTube will be doing their anniversary episode of This Space is for Rent. And then on the 21st, we'll have the Slay of the Night crew doing a holiday group number. In the comments right now is the link to that post where you can view all of that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you so much for joining us. You have a great night too, Amanda. All right, that is all I have for you. Bye, everybody.